something to look forward to.
Welcome to the Hopefulist, a daily talk show hosted by veteran broadcaster Wendy McClure. Join Wendy each day as she shares her life lessons that transformed her from perpetual pessimist to the ultimate hopefulist. The perfect morning show to get you caught up on the day's top stories while sharing insights that will lead to positive transformation and bring out the hopefulist in you. For more inspiration, visit Hopefulist.com. And now, here's your host and hopefulist, Wendy McClure.
Hello and happy Friday. Welcome to the Hopefulist. Thank you for joining me for your daily dose of inspiration and positivity. The quote of the day today, once again coming from Dr. Martin Luther King. We must learn to live together as brothers, or we will perish together as fools. Let's not let that happen. Let's come together. Let's unify. Let's be the United States of America. Have you guys seen all of these Bernie memes? Oh my gosh, they are so hilarious. I was posting a bunch yesterday because I can't get enough of them. They're just so funny. Some of my favorites is him with the Breakfast Club, him watching one of the chess matches in the Queen's Gambit, because we just watched that show. That's so funny. My sister just sent me a YouTube video showing all of the different memes to the song My Favorite Things. That was one of my favorites, was when they had compared the warm woolen mittens to Bernie's warm mittens. Yes. So funny. Another one that I really liked was a picture of him walking in to the inauguration, and he had an envelope under his arm, which is very odd because, you know, it's like it's an inauguration. Like, you don't just walk in with your usual stuff. I didn't see any women with purses or what, you know what I mean? Like, don't you leave that somewhere? I don't know. I guess maybe he was giving it to somebody that was there and he was allowed to bring it in. But I had seen one of the memes where he was walking in with the envelope under his arm. Somebody had wrote 10:30, drop off dry cleaning. 11 o'clock, Joe's thing. 2 o'clock, stop at post office. Oh, they're funny. I'm sorry, they're funny. I don't care where you land on the political spectrum. These are hilarious and so needed. We all need a good chuckle right now. I'm not sure how Bernie feels about it. I don't know about Bernie all that well. I don't see him as somebody who, I don't know. I see him as somebody who probably takes himself a little seriously. But, you know, how can you not be glad that you've inspired so many laughs? It's been great. I've loved it. I've loved every minute of it. I'm sure there will be more to come. And, you know, the speed at which they've all been created. I even saw an app where you can put in any address in the world and they will drop Bernie into that. So, like, for example, I didn't try it, but I guess I could put him in the address to this house and maybe he'd be sitting outside of it. I'm not sure. I didn't really delve into it that much, but yeah, the speed at which these have been created have been phenomenal. And of course, if you're from New Jersey, like I am, and I know it's not just New Jersey that has seen these pictures of Chris Christie sitting on the beach. One of the first ones I saw was of Chris Christie on the beach and Bernie next to him in his mittens. Now, a teacher had made those for him a couple of years back, and apparently he's been wearing them while he was campaigning. So he's been wearing them for quite some time, and now she's getting inundated with orders. So good for her, and good for Bernie being a good sport. Not that he has much choice in the matter. So do you use a daily planner? Do you have a favorite one? I have been using the High Performance Planner, which is for 2 months at a time. And at first, I didn't like the idea of taking a planner and filling in the calendar myself. And probably because I'm lazy and I just didn't want to have to write it out. But I'm coming to find that it really is more useful because I'm very on and off with this particular planner. There are weeks that I'm on it and in it every single day, and then there's times when I go like 3 days without using it. There's times when I go 7 days without using it. I did get for Christmas a tiny little daily planner. It's more like a weekly planner. That's super cute. It's got sparkles on it. So me, has a little inspirational quote on the front, a little inspirational boost for you. And I've been using that as well, in addition to my regular planner. I'm also keeping track, and that's something I have never done before. I'm keeping track of the books that I have read. I've been seeing a lot of people like, oh, I've read 100 books this year, and I've done that. I have no idea how many books I read in a year. Honestly, I'm clueless. I can tell you for sure, I typically read 2 books a week. Typically. Sometimes it's 1, sometimes it's 3. In the summertime, when I'm outside soaking in the sun, sometimes it's 4. Depending on the length of the book, of course. So I'm going to try and keep track of my books and see how many I have chalked up at the end of the year. 100 books in a year. At first, I was like, 100 books. I probably have that down easy. And then I thought about it. That's more than 2 books. That's about 2 books a week. So, yeah, that's a lofty little goal there, 100 books in a year. So we'll see. I'll keep you posted. I know you're dying with anticipation. Back to the planners. Kate says, yes, I use it for everything. Cheryl says she uses her iPad. Adele says, I have a paper planner, but it's really just a glorified bunch of different to-do lists. Any appointments, meetings, classes, birthdays, etc. are on my Google Calendar on my phone, color-coded. I have to learn how to use the Google Calendar. I used it briefly at one of my jobs, and it did seem very simple. And I just really, again, tech, well, let's just say I excel in other areas other than tech. So I just have to look into that a little bit more, and I think that might be. I've tried to use my phone and the reminders and putting it on my calendar. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. It's weird. I guess I just don't have it down properly. Eleanor says, no, I do not use a planner. Mary Ellen says, I think having a daily planner while staying home during COVID is a waste of money. I wish I had so many plans. I needed to write them down. Kimmy says, I use the Staples ARC system for years, and I love it. I don't know what that is, but good for you, Kimmy. Linda says, always have. I use my Outlook calendar, keeps all my work and personal plans at easy access. If it isn't on there, it ain't gonna happen. Corinne says, my phone. Joe says, Google Calendar. And John put up a GIF that said, it's all up here, pointing to his head. So I guess he doesn't need a planner. It's all in his head. Yeah, I can't depend on my head anymore. I just can't. There's no way it's getting done if I'm relying on myself to remember. It's pretty scary how fast thoughts go in and out of my head at this point. There are times that I'm in my bathroom and I think of something like a topic or something that I want to discuss or a question. And by the time I get out to the living room, I forget what it is to write it down. It's baffling. It's scary is what it is. So if you're having some of those moments yourself, you are not alone. And I hope you are. Not that I wish bad on you, but I just don't want to be alone. The topic of today is something to look forward to. Oh, in times like these, it is great if you can plan something to look forward to. I know it's difficult because travel restrictions are so tough right now. So maybe you can do smaller trips for now, plan something bigger for in the future. It doesn't have to be travel either. It can be a kitchen upgrade or updating the outside of your house. Do these all sound like big, expensive projects? Well, yes, they do. That's because they are. It's something you can plan and save for, though. But here's the thing. No matter how much money you have dedicated to a certain project or trip, start planning now. Once you start planning, it becomes real. And it's so much more likely to happen. If you want to upgrade the kitchen, start looking at different options. Decide exactly how you want your kitchen to look. Just look through magazines or scroll through websites of home improvement stores or meet with someone, telling them that you are still in the very early planning stages and are just looking for different options. Once you get that perfect kitchen mapped out, print it out, look at it every day. Seeing it all the time will motivate you to raise the money to get it done. It's the same with traveling. If you are thinking about a big trip, start planning now. Not to mention these types of trips typically take a lot of planning, so get started. Contact travel agents, look up airfares, check out Airbnbs where you want to go. I personally am planning a trip to Europe in the fall. Yes, big, bold dreams. Yes, the plan could be blown to smithereens with COVID, but I'm hopeful that with the vaccine and it being 9 months away, that things will be getting back to normal somewhat by then. I've been wanting to visit Europe my whole life, and I am not waiting anymore. I've picked the dates that we will go. I'm keeping an eye on airfares, checked out some places to stay. Lucky for me, I have a cousin who lives in Germany, so part of our trip is already taken care of. We are all going to explore other areas of the continent, so I'm making choices about where to go and places to stay. It's a big trip. It's one I've been waiting for my whole life. I'm not waiting anymore. I'm making my plans and hoping for the best. You can do the same. If you're willing to do some long-term planning, you can find a place to go that you've always dreamed of. Maybe Hawaii after Europe. The next trip will be Hawaii. Or if you are still leery about air travel, plan some road trips. There are so many awesome places to see in this country alone. It is well worth jumping in the car with a bunch of snacks, some good music, and your favorite people. All you have to do is decide where to go and find a place to stay. My husband and I have a habit of making road trips rather than flying. I'm not sure why. I think we're cheap. Flying's kind of a pain. So I don't do it usually unless I absolutely have to. But if it's within driving distance, reasonable driving distance, that's the way we will go. And we'll make a little road trip out of that. Now, granted, the little road trip ends up costing more than the airfare would have. But we also get to see other things along the way, make more memories. And it's, in my opinion, an all-around better deal. For example, when my niece was graduating high school a few years back, we were going to Dallas to watch her graduate high school. And the airfare was pretty expensive. So we decided to make a road trip out of it. We started in New Jersey. We hit Nashville for a night. Went to all the honky tonks, had a blast. Then we traveled to New Orleans, spent 2 days in New Orleans. Then we rolled up to Dallas, spent 2 days there with the family, celebrating my niece. And then on the way back, we stopped in Atlanta for, I think we were there for 2 days. I'm not sure. And then we came straight home from there. Then, about a year or so ago, we went on a cruise right around Christmas time. We left the day after Christmas. We actually left on Christmas Day. We drove to Florida, again, to save some money on some airfare. And we just stopped whenever we got tired on the way down. I think we stopped somewhere in South Carolina. We just hit like a Days Inn or something like that. stayed there for the night, got up the next morning, hit the road again. And then on the way back, I made specific plans to stop in Charleston, South Carolina, because we had never been there before. And we didn't, we spent the night there. We didn't get to see a whole lot, but we got to see a little bit. So, yeah, I think the road trips really, they don't get the credit they deserve. Now, granted, it's a lot of time in the car. It's a lot of time in the car. And you can't get away from anyone. But to me, it's just a lot better to make more memories than to just, get on the plane. My opinion. You do you. The point is to have something to look forward to. Don't just think about it. Don't just visualize it. Plan it. I'm telling you, nothing will motivate you faster than seeing your vision of your brand new kitchen, patio, or the pictures of the places you want to travel to. You don't have to pick dates or spend any money, but you do need to plan it and act as if it's happening for it to come to fruition the fastest. Plus, it's fun. I've been having a blast checking those airfares every day. And boy, they really do fluctuate. I tell you. Don't ever buy airfare on the first time you look. Don't do it. Oh, it is Friday. I'm having problems speaking today, clearly. I even stopped at one point and started over. I'm not doing that again now because I'm 16 and a half minutes in, but I'm going to try this again. Please excuse me for my inability to speak properly today. It's Friday. We made it to the weekend. I hope it's fantastic. Of course, be safe in whatever you do. And you be your badass self. I'm here cheering you on.
Thank you for listening to The Hopefulist, hosted by Wendy McClure. For more inspiration, please visit hopefulist.com. Thanks, and we'll see you tomorrow on The Hopefulist.
Friday, 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 Friday.